Festival is on throughout the month of August, seducing you out of your homes with wines and cheeses and other things to be enjoyed by an open fire. They also have a number of events where you can listen to experts speak as you stuff yourself with wine and cheese by an open fire. On today is a panel of women in farming, and we're joined now by one of the panelists. Her name is Claire Fuller. Hello, Claire.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. Claire, you are from Back Valley Farm, so tell us a bit about your farm.
Well, I don't have a chicken on my head at the moment, but I do am surrounded by about 900 at the moment in the sunshine. We have a pasture-raised egg farm here at Back Valley, which is about 10 minutes out of Victor Harbour. And we have a range of landscapes here. So we have a large patch of remnant vegetation or old-style vegetation, an open woodland. And then we have a large flat area where we graze our hens, where they lay their pasture-raised eggs.
Wonderful. Now, eggs have been in short supply this year. Are we kind of back to proper supply, or are there still shortages?
Yes, I think there probably are still some shortages, and there's probably multiple reasons to that. One being the phasing out of caged eggs, and as people become more educated and aware of where their food comes from, many people are choosing not to purchase caged eggs, so they are being phased out, and those farms that were producing those eggs need to go through some major infrastructure changes and upgrades, and so there is a bit of a dip in supply. I also think that there's a lot of people watching what they eat, and so the high protein diets and influencers are all over the internet and social media talking about the benefits of eating protein-only diets, and so eggs form a very big part of some of those diets. So there are a couple of reasons that we're finding that supply is quite low. And in fact, at the panel today, I would assume that the attendees might expect some eggs from us, but we just don't have the supply to take any extra along to any new customers at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been an egg farmer?
We're coming up for 2 years.
Okay.
So we're relatively the new kids on the block. And we've got quite an abundance mindset, so we always knew that there'd always be a need for eggs. They're critical in lots of food that we eat, and we thought that we could make a good go of it. We also have a young family, and managing hens on the farm, they're a small animal, and so the children that help us out on the farm are able to be actively involved in sort of many aspects of the farming of the hens, with egg collecting and moving the hens and picking them up and those sorts of things.
I'm reading a lot of books to my 2-year-old daughter at the moment, and there's always, a farmer in there. The farmer is always a white male, and then there's always a farmer's wife, but she must not do much of the farming because she's always wearing an apron. Is that how farms still operate nowadays, or is it all different?
Look, I think women have always farmed. It's not a new thing, and I think I was having a discussion with my family about this yesterday. When you think of a farmer, that's the image that pops up in your mind, and culturally, that's probably what's been in the books and what we've been told by society. But certainly, women have always played an active role, and I think women now are just finding their voices and stepping into the light and talking about their role and their active role and how they contribute to the farming practices, and also influence some of the decisions about what should happen on the farm and how things can be balanced. Sometimes women bring those softer skills around communicating to others about what they're trying to achieve on the farm, but also influencing some of the decisions about how to maintain the land, improve the soil, to ensure that future generations are also able to farm the land and to produce fresh food for themselves and the community to eat and enjoy.
So, I mean, you get to talk with other women about farming today at this panel. Is that something that you get to do very often, or are you generally talking to men when you are talking about work?
No, absolutely not. We do head along to a farmers market each week, and there's lots and lots of conversations that happen at those farmers markets, not only with the customers but also the other vendors at the farmers market. So there is another poultry farmer, Lucy, that I get to talk to quite a bit, and we talk about pain points. You know, what's painful about farming at the moment and how are we navigating that, and we share advice and ideas, and sometimes it's just listening to each other, and potentially the solution to the problem comes up in that conversation when you're talking to someone. But I think also the people that I come across at the farmers market are people that have either owned a farm themselves or have hens, and they're interested in understanding what's going on in the farm at this time. So the egg shortages have certainly brought a conversation to the fore, but also rainfall and low rainfall has also generated conversations, and so that comes in all shapes, all sizes and all people, and so it's not male dominated or female dominated, it's sort of a general conversation with lots of different people.
You're listening to Claire Fuller. She's from Back Valley Farm and part of a discussion today as part of the Fleurieu Food Festival at Yankalilla at Lot 50. The other people on the panel, Amy Constantino and Bridget Toner from McLaurin Farm and Cockatoo Creek Farm. Have you met these two women before?
I haven't actually.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to hearing from them and hearing their stories, absolutely. So yes, it should be a great afternoon.
Yeah, lovely. What's unique about farming on the Fleurieu?
Oh, well, it's got such a good reputation for those big rolling green hills and vegetation and clean fresh air, and also the coast and the river. I did grow up on the Fleurieu, so I might be a little bit, I might be the best person to ask. I did move away for a while, so I do have greater appreciation, but I think it's the clean air, the coast, the big skies. It's got the clean green reputation, and I suppose it's also the ability to grow food within a reasonable level of reliability in the season. So it's a cool climate, and we definitely have 4 seasons here, and you can farm and manage your property to those 4 seasons with relative certainty. So I think it's a beautiful spot, obviously. And yeah, it's a great place to be able to say that you grow food and you have a farm. I think lots of people are very envious of our lifestyle and what we've been able to build here.
So you've been a farmer for 2 years. What's the thing that you're finding the most enjoyable? I mean, when you were growing up, were you on a farm as well?
Yes, so I do have a background in farming, and I did grow up on a farm over towards Goolwa and Currency Creek. So again, I've got a connection to the river. But I think, and then I worked as a land management advisor. So I would visit farms like this and talk to the landholders about land management practices, and what land capability, different land has different capability for managing different livestock and different enterprises. So I had a bit of an idea. I knew it would be hard work. I mean, that's the first thing. It is hard work. It can be quite labour intensive. But the enjoyable part is the flexibility. So the lifestyle is pretty amazing. My day starts with, checking on the hens, making sure our Maremma dog is out here. He protects the hens from predators, so those, but mostly, on the most part, being foxes. So his presence alone keeps the foxes at bay. But I collect the eggs, I check on the hens. I might have to train some hens where to lay their eggs inside mobile vans on the farm. I check their water and their feed, and that's pretty much it for the morning rounds. And then I come back later in the day and do all the checking all over again. So the lifestyle allows flexibility to manage our home life and our family life with the kids coming and going. We do a bit of homeschooling, schooling and sports and activities, and also all the help that they provide us on the farm. So it's quite a diverse lifestyle.
You say flexibility, but I guess it's hard to take a holiday.
Oh, yes, that's a very good point. Yes, holidays are a little tricky. We did do a 24-hour flying trip over to Melbourne and back recently.
Right.
And we left the collecting of the eggs in the hands of our eldest daughter, and everything pretty much went to plan. But we are factoring holidays in, and next year we have a plan to have 4 weeks off. And so we will be making that plan into our cycling of our hens and our egg business.
Right, okay. And that's why you've got kids, so they can do the work while you go to the sunshine somewhere else.
Oh, well, it's funny you should mention that. A couple of them complain that they're not paid enough for the work that they do.
Well, I mean, with the egg prices nowadays, they're probably getting more than they think. Tell them that.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right. So,
no, they're still young for being paid, some of them, so yeah. They get paid in food and board.
Absolutely, yes. Well, yeah, you should send them an itemised list of all the money you've put into them over the years.
Yes.
You said you had a couple of ideas about what people are going to talk about, but really it was the price of eggs and the weather. That sounds like small talk. Is there anything else that you think people want to talk about?
Look, from today's audience, I think people really love hearing other people's stories. How did you get from there to there? What pushed you to, leave your full-time job and security to, start a farm and start an egg business, which you had no idea really if it was going to work. And so I think it's just those little snippets and insights. And I think women, especially with some of the home life that they tend to generally juggle, they are interested in life hacks.
Yeah.
So, how do you make it all gel? Not that I have an easy answer, but life hacks and stories, I suppose, and maybe giving someone a little piece of inspiration to make the change or look into something new. We are also very open to having anyone come to our farm and visit us and learn from us. And we've had people from Tasmania, and next week we have someone else from the Fleurieu that's looking at starting up an egg business, and we're going to come and show them around and teach them as much as we can. Just those little hacks, learnings, what not to do, what we learned along the way. I think are really all very interesting and good insights.
Yeah. Well, if people want to find out more about it, you can go to fleureufoodfestival.com. Tickets, it's at 2 o'clock today at Lot 50 in Yankalilla. Tickets will be open on the website until 2 o'clock, and they range between $3 and $30. I'm sure there's things to eat and drink along the way there, being the Fleurieu Food Festival. So thank you so much for your time, Claire.
That's okay. Thanks so much for having me.
No worries. I hope you have a wonderful discussion there at 2 p.m. today.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. That is Claire Fuller from Back Valley Farm. Also on that panel, Amy Constantino from McLaurin Farm and Bridget Toner from Cockatoo Creek Farm. Okay, it is 21 minutes to 11. You're on Sunday mornings with Jason.